Hello everyone. We'll start the session in 5 more minutes.
Hello, Meghna. Good morning. Just
Yeah,
checking my audio. Are you able to hear
morning,
me?
Sushma. Yes, it's
Good.
clear.
Okay. Good morning, Sudha.
Hi, good morning, Sushma.
All right.
Maybe
Yeah.
everyone else
Yeah.
is here. Just checking.
Yes, you're audible, Sudha.
Thank you, Sushma.
Yeah. Thanks for confirming, Meghna. We'll get started when you're ready. Okay.
Good evening, everyone, and very good morning, Ms. Sushma. Hope everyone, I hope you all are keeping yourselves safe and healthy through this challenging time in our country. Our team SmartBridge understands the importance of trust you place in us and pride ourselves tremendously in providing the highest standards. We always make sure to deliver the best to the students. So now we are here again with the most awaited webinar on building blocks of career success. So now let me permit me to briefly introduce the session. So this session, building blocks of the career success, will help you to understand and gain knowledge on how to create and build excellent professional network on LinkedIn to help you get your dream job. You will also learn to prepare and optimize your resume powerfully as per the recruiter's expectations and requirements. You will also gain confidence and command by learning various techniques to create best impressions by developing excellent interviewing skills and much more. So, without any further delay, let us welcome the wonderful facilitators to take us through this amazing journey in building your successful career. I'm honored to introduce Ms. Sudha. Ms. Sudha Kolluru is the co-founder of Proxil and performance acceleration coach with expertise in communication skills, leadership, personality development, and career development for students. She has professional experience of 20 plus years across diverse industries. She has trained more than 1,000 plus students, employees, corporate executives at entry, middle, senior management levels. So, not to mention, she is also a TEDx speaker, an organizer, and a member of Toastmasters International. Um, and now I would like to introduce the second facilitator of the event, Ms. Sushma Mamindlapelli. So, Ms. Sushma is the co-founder of a learning and training professionals who look forward to leadership and self-development through continuous learning. She's a mindset and a habit transformation coach, speaker, and an aspiring author currently residing in Colorado, USA. Over a period of 6 plus years of professional journey, Sushma has trained and coached hundreds of global professionals to upskill themselves. So, Ms. Sushma, over to you.
Thank you, Meghna. Thank you for the wonderful introduction.
My pleasure.
I am going to share my screen, Meghna. Can you just confirm if you're able to see it?
Yes, sure.
Are you able to see it now?
Not yet, Sushma. Yes, it's visible. Perfect.
All right, perfect. Thank you. All right. So a very good evening to everyone. It is good morning in my part of the world. Quite early in the morning, actually. It's 6:30 a.m. Hope you're all safe and doing well at home. So thanks for the introduction again, Meghna. Just to add to that, I wanted to share with you that I am also a graduate, a computer science BTech graduate from Hyderabad. I'm originally from Hyderabad, from Narayanama Institute of Technology and Science in Hyderabad in the year 2007. And I share this because as I speak over the next 40 minutes, I want you to know that I have been in your shoes. I have experienced the questions, the concerns, and the confusion that each and every one of you who is a student goes through. So as we kept going through the course and we're designing this, so between me and Sudha, we kept going back to the days when we were a student and the challenges that we faced. So the times have definitely changed, but the internal struggles remain the same, right? So before I get started, I also must say that we are extremely delighted to bring to you this program, The Building Blocks for a Successful Career, in partnership with Smart Interns. Smart Interns is an amazing organization which gives like the best quality of resources for the students to grow their careers. And as Meghna mentioned, Proxil is a learning and development hub where we provide coaching and training programs on different aspects of professional and personal success in life. All right. So before we get started, I wanted to share with you that as we were designing this course, what we kept in mind is this needs to be a progressive learning journey. And you need to understand this in the sense that in this today's session, we will be talking about what exactly are the building blocks that are required for a successful career and why they are so important. And then we will take you through what are the next steps in order to complete this journey and have a successful support system for you to flourish in your career and make an amazing utilization of the opportunities that are available to you. So in today's session, like Meghna mentioned, we will talk about the magic of LinkedIn, how to fire up your resume, how to ace the interview, overview of the next steps, which is the program structure, what next, how do you get about doing that, and then we'll go to the question and answers. As much as possible, in interest of time, please note down your questions as we go through the different topics and we will address them towards the end of the course. So as all of us, I think, the audience from what I know are a mixed group of second years, third years, fourth years. So you're at different stages of your, life journey and your career. And very soon you will be at that important crossroads of your career where you have to make some very important decisions. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not someone who sugarcoats my words, that being anxious and being confused, having a lot of questions is very normal. Every person goes through that. And if you are somebody who has such kind of an experience or is experiencing it right now, please know that you are not alone. And we absolutely understand. So just sit back, relax, and go through this journey with us with the focus, knowing that we have taken all the challenges that a student faces into consideration while creating this program for you to make it as relevant as possible. So, as you go through the different steps of your career and get to a point where you have to make a career choice, what is the best way of challenging this particular anxiety and confusion that you are facing, and how can you resolve it? One good way is to start with planning. Some of the important questions that you should definitely ask yourself, and hope you have started asking already, are: what are the companies that you would like to work for? What is the job industry that you would like to go into? What positions are you qualified to apply for? This depends on what you have found as your strengths during your college days and how you can apply them in your work. Where are these job openings and how can you apply for them? Show these employers that you're a great fit and a strong candidate for the job. As you know, there are so many students graduating every single year. So, how do you set yourself apart? How can you be up to date with the latest industry trends? And who can you look to network and ask questions about your dream job, your dream company, whatever you have set for yourself as a career goal? So, as I said, when I graduated in 2007, that was a time when the internet exposure was very limited and LinkedIn was not much in use. So, the only way that we could find out about our dream job or our area of interest was asking the aunties and uncles and the bhaiyas and the didis about what is it? How is the experience of working in a particular job? How is it to be in the corporate sector or any other sector that we choose? And back then, the opportunities compared to now were limited. Now, opportunities are much more, but mind you, the means to reach those opportunities have also greatly increased. And one such power tool that you can have in your kit is LinkedIn. So, before I take you through the magic of LinkedIn, I'd like to know how many of you have a LinkedIn account. So, I want you to quickly give me a yes or a no. Oops. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah. Please give me a yes or a no in the chat. Because of the number of members on the meeting, I would request, please don't turn on your mic. Okay. So I have a yes, yes, yes. Great. That's a good combination of yes and no. So those of you who have said yes, tell me how many of you feel that you are making optimum use of the LinkedIn platform? You understand everything and you know how to use it very well. How many of you think so? Give me a yes or a no again. Okay, so we see a lot more no's. All right. Okay, so for all of you who said no, well, I'm happy to share that you are in the right place because you're going to learn so much more about the magic of LinkedIn. So let me continue. So did you know that on LinkedIn, there are over 500 million users? And as we speak right now, the number is increasing. I recently read somewhere that there is one person joining the LinkedIn platform every 6 seconds. So you can just imagine how fast the platform is growing. Did you know that over 9 million companies have their presence and their data available on the LinkedIn platform? And also, there are over 10 million active job postings at any time when you explore the LinkedIn platform. Did you know that 70% of the companies use social media to screen their candidates, with LinkedIn being the most popular? 92% of recruiters use social media to find candidates, with LinkedIn being the most popular. So, pretty much, if you ask any recruiter, at this point in time, they would say, I absolutely love LinkedIn and you should too. And among all of the users that are actively available and engaged on LinkedIn at all times, did you know that almost 42% of the people are managerial level and above? You know what that means, right? It means that you not only have an opportunity to connect with your peers, your future colleagues, your professors, but you could also become visible to your future potential boss. Now, let me ask you this. What will a potential employer find if they do a search for you online? In case you haven't noticed, if you have a LinkedIn profile, when you put in your name into any search engine, be it Google or any other search engine, the first thing that comes on top of the list is your LinkedIn profile. That is how important it is. Believe it or not, almost 52% of employers decided not to hire a candidate because they could not find them online. I repeat that 52% of employers decided not to hire a candidate. So you can understand how important online presence is, especially in the digital world right now. So when it is so important, and I'm not saying this, the statistics are, if it is really so important, you might as well build a strong online presence and make it count for you, isn't it? So online presence is definitely an important aspect of your career success in today's times. Next, why LinkedIn? Because it allows you to create a strong professional network. Now, you might think I'm a student. If I have any questions or any concerns, if I have any need for information, I can reach out to my professors. I have friends to talk to. I have the internet to Google. So, why do I really need a professional network? Well, friends, let me tell you, the entire setup that you have right now of all the wonderful people, your college support, your recruitment and placement cell that you have in your college, all the college campus interviews that keep happening, all of this is just your launch pad. It is the starting point of your journey. So, as you go forward and grow in your career, you definitely require the support of a professional network where you can interact with people, exchange ideas, find collaboration opportunities, and also find your dream jobs. So, LinkedIn is the perfect platform which brings a combination of these opportunities to your fingertips. Just being there, you will realize how much potential there is and how easy it is to be able to explore if you engage in the right way. And as I was speaking about opportunities, I have to share this story. There was a student that I coached, and towards the end of her engineering, in her final year project, she got an opportunity to work with a team and complete her project at Microsoft. So, as she was working, she was very passionate about coding, new trends in the technology, and she was that kind of person who would always be on top of information and the latest in the technology world. Now, as she was working, there was another manager from an adjacent team who really liked the way she worked, and he connected with her on LinkedIn. So there was a nice professional connection, and not just the work that she does, but on LinkedIn she would share content, share ideas, ask for uh, you know she would ask for advice, tips on how to do better. And he, as a manager, kept observing all of her online activity. And he understood that she carried this passion as not just something that she displays at work, but she was truly passionate about it in her life. So, as I said, recruiters commonly have two ways of recruiting, either through referrals or through social media. And both of these can be met through LinkedIn. So, what happened is over a period of time, when there was an opening in the team for that particular manager, he actually reached out to her on LinkedIn and asked, I have an opening for a fresher. Would you consider the position? So it worked wonderfully for her. And she was placed at Microsoft and became a part of the workforce there. What a wonderful story, isn't it? So this way, it worked both ways, right? So first is that your manager was the source. That particular manager was the source of referral. So he went up to the HR and said, I have a amazing profile that you should definitely look at, and I want her to join the team. So there she was, right on top of the list of candidates to be considered. And also, she had such a strong online presence that she could make the opportunity work for her. So this definitely is an important aspect when you think of the magic of LinkedIn. Now, your next question might be, what are the steps of engagement on LinkedIn? When I share this session with students, everybody is like, I hope I could really see all of your faces. But when I share this face to face, the immediate question is, ma'am, we understand this is so important and we want to be there on LinkedIn. So, how do we engage? So, here is your answer. First is to create a very powerful LinkedIn profile with an appropriate headline, photograph, banner that highlights your personality and strengths. So, just for the sake of understanding, I will draw comparisons and make references to Facebook, but the approach that you need to have on LinkedIn is very different. So, here a banner means the cover photo in Facebook, just like you have that. On LinkedIn, you have it's called the banner, and the kind of photograph you need to have has to be extremely professional. No fancy photos, no teddy bears, no flowers, no sceneries and things like that. So when you're doing work to create your online presence on LinkedIn, it has to be a very, very professional approach. That is how you create your best impression. Now, definitely, you don't want to stop your engagement on LinkedIn by just creating a profile and visiting it once in a while. That's not the way that you want to engage on LinkedIn. What next? Start connecting with people. And I like to categorize these into three groups. Okay, so you can start with people you know. They are called your advocates. Okay, we call them the advocate, where they are people you know personally, like your friends, your family, someone in your neighborhood, anybody that you know at a personal level. They are people who can vouch for you. Next category is the strategic in. These are people that you know at a professional level, meaning it could be your professor, your head of department, your principal, or if you've done internship programs, maybe your project manager there or a project coordinator at a company that you worked at. So these are people who fall into the category of strategic in, who have seen the professional side of you and how well you work. The third category are the subject matter experts. These are people who have an established presence and a certain level of expertise in a particular industry. So they are pretty non-biased and people who you can reach out to or follow in order to understand the industry trends, or it could be to understand how things work or how things are shifting in the industry that you aspire to be a part of. Next, once you send out requests for these connections and those connection requests have been accepted, get to know your connections more. So please take the time to go and look at the profile, read through the profile. There is a summary section which tells you about the person themselves and the work that they do. There is a detailed description, if you've seen a LinkedIn profile, of what is a person's experience, where did they get educated, what is their qualification, their licenses, certifications, and all that good stuff. So definitely take time to get to know your connections more, because when you get to a point that you need some information, or say you need to reach out to a person in a particular company to understand the work culture, then knowing about your connections will make that search very quick. You know who to reach out to right away. Next is to explore the feed and LinkedIn groups. Observation is one of the best steps in order to learn how to engage on LinkedIn. Firstly, you can explore your feed, try and understand how different people are posting their content. What kind of content do they share? How do they engage in comments? What kind of responses do they get? This will give you an understanding of what you can expect during the time that you spend on LinkedIn. And definitely, LinkedIn groups are also another great place. Every company that has their presence on LinkedIn and their data available, they have a company page. And some of them you have technology specific groups, or if there are some other areas of interest for you apart from your specialization in engineering, or whichever course you're doing, then you can definitely explore those groups. So just being a part of those groups and interacting with them can be such a rich learning experience for you, and that can be your first step, so you don't have to be nervous about starting off. You watch first and then get started. Next is following the thought leaders and companies you admire that do the work you dream of. So, following a company, especially when you follow the company page, they constantly keep posting what are the updates that are happening. Is there a new merger? Is there a new project that's coming up? What does the future of the company look like? Are they hiring? All of this information is available to you through the company pages, which can be a great source of information. And not just at the level of LinkedIn and your awareness and knowledge, but when you get to a point that you want to apply for a job in that particular company, having information already researched can be a great additional asset for you. And of course, sharing updates and content. So this is the time when you finally get into action after all of the observation. Please make sure that you do share content that is applicable, suitable, and relevant to a LinkedIn. I will take you through the steps of what you need to keep in mind when you are actually doing the posting, but you definitely do not want to be a spectator. You have to share updates. It could be articles on technology that you came across on social media, some interesting reads, a new trend that you have come across. So you can always start with sharing information that is already available but is interesting. But then later on, you can get to a point where you create your own content, where you can actually write and share your own ideas and engage people on that. So a few things that you have to keep in mind while posting are: keep your content professionally appropriate. Very, very important. As a simple rule, I would describe it to you as anything that you would not share with your boss or with a professor or anybody you know at a professional level or above is not appropriate for LinkedIn. So, no good morning messages, no personal content. As much as we have the tendency on social media to share anything and everything, LinkedIn profiles are restricted to professional activity only. So, you don't want to put too much out there, which can give a wrong impression about your professional engagement on LinkedIn. That is the first place where they see how is it that you would engage in a professional setup, and that reflects how you would be when you actually go in person and join the workforce. Next, do not post too many times in a day. Like you may have heard of it, that Facebook, LinkedIn, all of these have algorithms that run in the background. So every time you post, depending on the engagement, your posts are pushed to more number of feeds among the connections that you have, and vice versa. So when you post too many times in a day, firstly, it seems that you're very desperate, or it could reflect like you share pretty much anything that comes your way. It gives a feeling of, those people who constantly forward things that they come across. So you want to be mindful about what you share on LinkedIn to give a feeling that, say, for example, if I'm sharing something on my profile, people in my connection network should know that, okay, if she's shared something, then it must be meaningful. It must be something that is worth reading. So open the article and read it. That's the kind of impression that you want to create for the people in your connection. And let me tell you this, it's not just people in your connection, that pretty much anybody, if you keep your profile public, anybody can look at it. They don't have to be in your connections. So that can be a great way of projecting yourself as an authority, as an expert in whatever information that you already know. So please keep that in mind. The next and most important point is, please remember that your posts live on LinkedIn forever. If you look at your profile, there is a section called activity where it logs each and every comment you make on any other posts as well, not just your own. What are the posts that you make? What are the comments that you make? Your entire activity is captured. So it tells your professional story. Any recruiter, a potential employer, or anybody else can see that. So it's important to remember that you want to be careful when you're doing the engagement. I'm not saying you should be fearful and stop yourself, but please be mindful when you're commenting on other people's posts as well, because that reflects you as a person. So now that we have understood what are the steps of engagement, the next question I usually get is, what is the difference between LinkedIn and resume? So when I share all of this, that you can put details of your qualification, what is your experience about yourself, all of this on LinkedIn. A lot of students ask me, then ma'am, does this mean that I don't need a resume? Well, employers just find me through LinkedIn. And anyway, you're saying that, people go and check on LinkedIn. So why do we need a resume? So let me clear out that question for you. Resume is a very important part of the job process. You definitely require a resume when you get to a point that you are applying for a specific job. That is your first step. But how is LinkedIn different from resume? The first thing is the depth of information that you can provide on LinkedIn. So think of it this way. Resume is definitely a paper document or a soft copy of the paper document where you can put only so much. And it has to be very specific to the job description. And you cannot get very creative with it, right? And until an employer decides that they have looked at your resume, they think you're a potential candidate, only when they decide to have a conversation with you can they find out more about you. But when it comes to LinkedIn, they already have a lot of information available, even without having a conversation with you. Like I said, you have a summary section, and not just that, but you have a volunteer experience section. So it's not just specific to your work, but also other areas that are of interest to you. So it actually reflects your personality. What is it that really drives your passion? All of that information can be put into a LinkedIn profile. And next, of course, the recommendations and the endorsements. So, endorsements, in case you're not familiar with it, are they are skills that can be displayed on your profile where somebody else comes and endorses you for that particular skill. For example, I am a transformation coach. When somebody comes to my profile and they endorse me for coaching, it would show up as a number. It's like a review. Like if I have 10 people click on coaching and endorse me for that, it just shows that I am more credible in that particular skill. So that is how it reflects on a public profile to say you're good at the work that you have been chosen for. Next is the recommendations. This is like a testimonial where a person who has worked with you, a person who knows you, it could be a professor or maybe your colleague or a peer, who can come and write a small write up about you and say how wonderful the experience of working with you is. This can add a lot of weightage to your professional credibility because it's somebody endorsing you and saying it's absolutely wonderful working with Sushma. So you can go, and that kind of opens up opportunities. So when a potential employer sees that, they already know that the candidate who is coming in the door has a good professional presence and has a good standing with the people that they work with. So these are two very important aspects that add depth to how much professional information you can provide and the kind of presence that you can create online. Now, next, let's move on to the do's and the don'ts. So, like all social media networks, it is important to keep in mind what you should and what you should not do. Now, I have been stressing since I started that there has to be a very professional approach. And pretty much anything, please remember, friends, anything, no matter where you post, where you comment, we all know that in the background, everything is connected. So, any activity that you do online, on LinkedIn or off LinkedIn, it adds to your digital brand. They say it is like a digital tattoo. Just like when you get a tattoo and you cannot erase it, anything that you put online cannot be completely removed at any point. So please be mindful, please be careful, please be vigilant when you're trying to share information about yourself. Everything and anything cannot be on the internet about you. If there is information you want to share with your friends and your family, please use other sources to keep them updated. But social media should not be the place where your entire life can be studied. All right. And of course, the don'ts. So there is information, as much as all of this is so positive and encouraging, there is information that a lot of cases employers either do not hire or fire people because they have observed bad behavior online. And this could be maybe using abusive language or trolling people, posting inappropriate comments on somebody else's posts. All of this is considered, or talking about criminal activity or controversial topics. All of this is not encouraged, especially not in LinkedIn. LinkedIn is not the space to do that. And I strongly recommend that please do not do it anywhere else either, because all the data can be pulled together. When recruiters and marketing specialists go online and they decide that they want to find out about you, believe me, pretty much your entire life can be studied if you have too much information out there. So you definitely do not want to do that. So now that we've understood what is LinkedIn, why it is so important, and how you can start engaging. Now, to take you to the next depth, in the next level of program, the magic of LinkedIn, I will take you through how to create your best impression through your powerful digital profile. So it's not just about what you put in your profile, but how you put it, how you can impress somebody just by allowing them to read about you on your profile. Next is messaging. When you send out connection requests to people who you know, they will accept it obviously. But when you do not know somebody, you have to personalize the invite. Now you might be wondering, what do I put into a request that you just cannot say, I would like to connect with you. So there has to be some depth, there has to be some personalization. Only then it can be an impactful connection. So I will take you through details of what exactly you can put, how you can respond once the connection request has been accepted, and how you can start meaningful conversations. And as we spoke about the importance of posting and sharing, a lot of times students, especially if they have just started their presence on LinkedIn, they get stuck at wondering what topics to find. How do I post it? How do I attract attention? How do I draw people to actually read my post and comment on it? So these are a lot of questions that I can help you answer in the next level program. And addressing comments, an important point. On all social media, including LinkedIn, there are people who like to create controversy constantly. So they make offensive comments, or they try to provoke you. So it's important for you as an author to keep in mind how to address the comments or how to ignore it. And that's something that I will talk about too. And finally, getting noticed. There are so many millions of users on LinkedIn. So why should somebody read the content that you post? Why should somebody follow your work? And how can you set yourself apart in the process of getting noticed, so that later on, when you start your professional journey, it actually adds as a big advantage, and people can always go back and look at you and find out more about you just from your LinkedIn profile. So this brings us to the end of the LinkedIn topic. Now, next, we will move on to fire up your resume. And before I get started, so how is everybody doing? Are you all with me? Give me a yes or a no. All right. Awesome. Okay. So let's move on to our next topic, firing up your resume. So now that we have gotten all of the LinkedIn stuff in place, you have your LinkedIn profile, you have a strong presence online, and anybody and everybody can go and look you up, and there's no need to feel worried or concerned. What next? So let's say you're busy in your own world, and suddenly you got to know that your dream company has posted a job opening. So what will you do? Definitely you will drop everything that you're doing at that point. You will go and start writing your resume or filling in the online application. And most obviously, a lot of times we get stuck when we're doing exactly that. So my question to all of you is, why do you think it is hard to write a resume? Give me an answer in the chat. So just tell me, what is it that you think are the reasons why it is very hard to write a resume? Answers in the chat, please. It could be your personal reason. Okay, we don't know what to write, lack of clarity. Good answers. Any more answers? Right. Yeah, I have to put how to put everything together, lack of presentation. Right, right. Correct. So all of your answers are absolutely right. So it is hard to write a resume for two particular reasons. And I will tell you why. So the first one is all the questions. So whatever you have posted, you have typed into the chat, there are so many questions that, especially at the stage of being a student, because you do not have considerable amount of work experience, you're wondering, what do I actually put into my resume? How do I structure it and make it meaningful to the particular job posting? How much of detail should I write? For example, there are skills. Let's say you are very good at event coordination. You have very good management skills of running a team. Now, if you have to put that in the resume, how do you put it? Do you go into the details of what the event is about? How much of detail is too much? All of these questions make it really difficult to decide what exactly you want to put on a resume. So definitely questions is one of the reason it's hard to write a resume. And second one is conditioning. What I mean by conditioning is from a very young age, we are taught culturally to be very humble. This is something that a lot of us don't think about, but the reason we are not able to express ourselves well enough or to the T exactly as is because we are conditioned not to boast about ourselves. It's hard for us to write appreciation for ourselves. When somebody comes and appreciates us, it feels amazing. And all of it feels very relevant. But when you have to put it into words and write it, that is when it becomes very challenging. And that is one of the reasons why people find it so difficult to express themselves, and they actually end up even underselling themselves sometimes. People have this problem of how do I write it? What do I put in? There are some people who are too experienced. So they have so many years, so much of knowledge, so many years of experience that they don't exactly know what all they have to put on a resume. So that is where I am going to take you through a few steps to help you understand how you can go about doing that. So we all love stories, don't we? So I'm going to tell you a story. Have you ever wondered what happens when you fill in an online application and click submit? Does the resume go to the recruiter? Does it go to the printer, get printed out, and go to the hiring manager? How does it really work? So, today I'll take you through the story and the journey of a resume. So, first, you have a resume. If you are in a situation where you're going through a campus recruitment, you can directly hand it to the recruiting team. However, if you're doing it online, then you will fill in an online application and hit submit. Or you will probably share a soft copy of the document through email with the recruiter. These are the common ways that you would submit your resume, right? So, what happens is once when you submit your resume, it goes to something called an application tracking system. Now, all mid level to large companies use an application tracking system. What is this? This is a software which goes through scanning and screening of all the resumes that come into the system. So there could be hundreds of submissions that are done. The way the software program is designed is that it looks for keywords in your particular resume, and it totally depends on the job description and the resume that you have submitted. So, if for any reason, when you submit a resume and you feel this was such a perfect fit, but I do not know why my resume did not get picked, this is one of the reasons. Because your resume is going through an automated software, which means that the information you presented on the resume, so it's not you, it's not your lack of skills, but the way you have presented and written the resume makes all the difference for you to get through this first level of screening, which is the application tracking system. After that, what happens is it goes to the recruiter. And then after the recruiter, it goes to the hiring manager. Hiring manager is the person who finally makes the decision of who needs to be picked. So finally, when it gets to the hiring manager, pretty much maybe five to six resumes actually reach the table. For the maximum number of screening happens, maximum percentage of screening happens at the level of application tracking system. Then you have a human recruiter, a human eye screening happens. And here also, it's a tricky part. So recruiters sometimes they are specialized in that particular area of work and they understand the job description. So it's easy for them to connect the dots and understand the information you've put on your resume, how it suits the job description. However, there are some people who are specialized and there are others who are not specialized. So when they are not specialized, it's pretty much similar to an ATS scan, but it's just a human eye scan. So they will look at keywords and they struggle a little bit to find the connection. Now, this happens because sometimes when recruiting teams are big or when the organization is very big, a recruiter might be working on multiple positions and bringing in candidates for that. So you have all kinds of recruiters that will read your resume. It's important that you project the right kind of information so it's easy for the recruiter to find the connection. Not just that, but you have to put your information in a way where your resume stands out. Now, friends, we all know it's a common practice that we start with a sample resume. But please remember, you do not want to do fill in the blanks. Do not cut paste or don't just clear up the sections and add information just like that. You need to create something unique because the HR recruiters, I mean, I've worked with so many people. So believe me, when they come across another similar resume, they're like, oh God, one more resume. It becomes very, very difficult and quite a struggle for them to even look at the resume and go through the information. You do not want to be in that pile of people. Okay, so you want to do something unique and present your information differently. And we'll talk about that more. So, this is the journey of the resume. Now that we understand how the resume flows through the job industry, goes through the system, and what the process is, to the point where you are among the shortlisted candidates for a job and your resume is sitting on the table of a hiring manager, we have understood it. Now, just like if you would go on a vacation, what would you do? You want to travel to a new place. What is the first thing that you do? You do research, you find out the best route to get to the destination. You find out what are the places on the way where you can stop to have food, stop to take a rest. And if you decide to stay overnight, then what are the places where you have good hotels? You do all of this planning, right? Exactly. When you are preparing your resume to get out on a journey and reach the hiring manager's table, you want to plan the entire path. And that is one of the strongest and best ways for you to be able to even write the resume with more confidence and with more ease. Now, I'll take you through some top pointers on how you have to approach building a resume because planning can make a lot of difference. First, I don't know if anybody told you about this and if you've heard it, but think of your resume as a marketing document. So it's like an advertisement. Think of this. A particular company is saying that this is what I need a candidate for. So you definitely want to project and be the best advertisement of yourself in the market to say, hey there, this is why I suit you. This is why my skills are important to you because this is how I can fulfill the responsibilities of the job that you are looking for a candidate. So think of it as a marketing document. That is how you have to approach it as you're building it. Next, your resume needs to be strategic. As I said, as a student, it's a little difficult for you to figure what is the information that you want to put on a resume. Let me tell you, there is something called transferable skills. So each and every activity that your college encourages you to do, in case you're somebody who thinks, do I really need this at this point of time? Then the answer is a big, big yes, because all of those can be considered as transferable skills. The example that I was sharing, where you are a great event manager, you work very well with teams and you're very smooth with them. That is a super good skill to have in a workplace, and it will be greatly appreciated. So you can definitely present it in a strategic way on your resume where it doesn't seem like a college event, but you can say, I have the experience of coordinating with 25 people, working across multiple teams, working across different departments. All of these can be very important skills in your resume that you can present to the recruiter. And when I say strategic, another important aspect I want to insist on is please never fake anything. Do not make up wrong information and put it on your resume just for the sake of it, or just so that your resume gets picked. This can be very dangerous because there are cases that later on, when they find out that your information was not correct, there are high chances that you can get fired. They will ask you to leave the job, and it will remain as a big black mark on your career for the rest of your life. And you do not want to do that. You do not want to become a blacklisted candidate. So it's okay. Whatever you know, you say you know it. If you don't know, you're just at the start of your career, or whichever point you are at in your career, there is always something that you can learn further. So you can always go down that path. Not too long, not too short. You don't want it to be extraordinarily long because you want all the information to be included. At the same time, it shouldn't be too short that they cannot get a feel of what exactly are your skills or how applicable your profile is to the job that they're looking to fill. Start planning by identifying your target job. This can be a very important step for you. So start looking at different job postings. You can do that on LinkedIn or any other job site, monster.com, or any site that you usually like to go on. Look at the job postings, look at the industry, try and observe it. And this is one activity that I strongly suggest to all the students that I coach, is try to take a printout or write down the highlights from the different postings. You will see that as you go through more and more job postings, there is a certain pattern that you can observe, that these are the most important skills that are looked for in the dream career that you have chosen. So those are the areas that you can focus on in developing your skills even before you get to a point where you will be attending interviews. That can be a great way of preparing. And you also know what to highlight on your resume just because you are able to understand that pattern. Next, align all the information about you online and on paper. So resume is your physical document and LinkedIn is your online profile. So always make sure that there is not much difference other than the depth of the information in terms of the durations, in terms of the experience. You do not want to have any gaps between your LinkedIn profile and your resume. Both of them have to be in sync. So when your resume gets to the recruiter, they will go online and they will check for your profile, and you want both of those to match. And then they know a little additional information about you even before they have the first conversation. And then after that, they will take you through the rest of the process, and you will be able to get to a point where you will be appearing for an interview. So that brings me to the end of resume. As I said, knowing what to put is one thing, and being able to actually apply all the knowledge of how to write a resume, how to plan, and how to present it in the best way is the more challenging part, which I can help you with in the next level program. And I'll talk more about that towards the end of the course, and we will talk about the program structure. Now I hand it over to Sudha to take us through the rest of the topics. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sushma. That was a lot of information, great insights, guidance, and tips to not only understand how to build your visibility on LinkedIn, but also how to fire up your resume. I think many of us, the students, they're just stuck. They know everything, but they don't know how to place it and organize it in a very impressive and make that powerful resume. Thank you so much for all that information. So I would like to continue here.
Sure. Thanks, Sudha. Thank you. I'm looking forward to the acing of the interview, the exciting part of it.
Sure.
Over to you.
Yes, thank you so much. Let me just share my screen here. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. So how are you all doing there? I know you're on mute. I can't expect to hear answers back from you. But how about this? Just chat and then I'll be able to pick that up. Okay, great. Good, good, good. Excellent. Wonderful to know that. Amazing. So, first of all, thank you so much for your time, for your interest, for your patience listening, in joining us in this session today. And let me tell you one thing, guys. I think you have taken the first and the most important step towards building your career, your future career, which is going to be successful. So, when we said building blocks of success, career success, we wanted to set those blocks for you. So, every step in your path will be a block which will add to your journey to climb up that career ladder. Okay, so that's what this entire learning is all about, and to make you excel in everything that you do and land that dream job that you've always wanted. Yes, are you all with me? Okay, great. So before we get going, I hope everybody's safe and doing fine. I am speaking to you from Hyderabad. I'm at this part of the country and things are locked down, pretty much going fine, but I mean, getting into control. But I really hope and pray that everything is fine at your end. Please stay home, stay safe, make the best of your time, and of course, engage yourself in these kind of productive sessions, online sessions. Make the best of the technology that's available for you. Okay, so moving on, let me share a personal story, my experience. Now, why did I choose on this topic, interview skills, and why are they even important? That's a big $1 million question, right? We always wonder, okay, we have visibility, good, we have technical skills, excellent, we are amazing in academics. We are academically highly proficient, brilliant. And then we know what's what. So why these interviewing skills? Why can't I just walk into the interview and then face it? Like, give whatever that I know, the knowledge that I have from my college, because I've always topped. I was always a topper. So this can also happen, right? Isn't it? There is a possibility, and some of us may be thinking that. But friends, let me just share this example with you, my personal experience. Now, back in those days when I had completed my engineering and we had campus recruitment, I was always a topper and I did really good with my work, my studies and my project work, my internship. So I was very confident, or rather overconfident, that whatever the interviewer is going to ask me, I'm just going to ace it. I'm going to give my best answers, and there is no doubt that I can't get my job. Right. So that was the confidence level. And that's definitely a very positive boost that we all must have. So it so happened, finally, the interview day came. I checked with a couple of my friends and they said, you do this, you do that, it could be like this. So you prepare it. I said, okay, fine. I did my little bit of preparation. Then I walked in. I faced, and the minute I walked in, fear struck me. It was a very deep rooted, thought process which made me wonder what is it that's going to happen. And that fear, and seeing everybody around me, I became so nervous. And people were so serious. They seemed like professionals. They were dressed so well, and they seemed to know every part of it, well prepared, and having practiced everything. They seemed so more confident than I was. But then I gathered my courage together and I said, no, 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 nothing to fear. I can do it. Let me just face it. I will ace it. So then I walked up into the interview room, and there were a panel of people sitting in front of me. I expected one person to interview me, though they told me that it may be a panel. So there were three, four guys sitting in front of me, and then I started to tremble. And then, okay, my hands were a little bit nervous and sweaty. So I went and sat in front of them. Then it so happened that he asked me, okay, good to see you. Great. Tell me about yourself and just explain how things are for you and why would you like to get into this company. And trust me, friends, my voice didn't come. I had a big block in my throat and I just couldn't speak. And I was so shocked. More than not being able to answer, I was more scared that why am I not being able to answer? So that fear over fear was a total disaster. And unfortunately, what happened is I didn't make it through. So tell me one thing. How many of you have probably come across this kind of a situation or maybe heard it from your friends or anybody that you know? You can just put it into the chat box. Is it possible? Have you ever come across somebody like this, going this kind of an experience? Yes, very true. 3 days back during an interview, Harsh, oh my God, that must be a nightmare, Harsh. Yes, yes, right. So, okay, the fear is natural and normal. Let's all admit that and accept it. Okay. Now, because the fear is natural, we as human beings have the tendency. Do you think we should hold ourselves back and forget the whole thing? ठीक है, gone with the years of effort, gone with everything. Let me just relax and feel comfortable in my zone and not bother about anything because I just can't take that stress on me, the tension on me. Do you think we should do that? Definitely not, isn't it? So it's like this. Even though you may walk in, there are very much possibilities that you will get through, probably. But the rate of percentage may be 3 out of 10 that you just happen to get through by luck or whatever that they observed, something happened and then you get through. But unlike that kind of a situation, if you were well prepared, imagine if you were well prepared and if you knew exactly what to say and you practiced, rehearsed it, you got it verified and validated by an expert, and then the level of confidence with which you walk into that room is a different level altogether. Yes or no? Absolutely, yes. And then you're like, not only your voice, your thoughts, your mind, your body, but everything reflects that confidence. And there is 100% possibility, 200% that you will definitely ace that interview. Okay. So, in all my years of being my 18 plus years, and now that we are running Proxel, one of the main reasons that we have taken up this journey is because of our passion and the need and the love to provide that service, okay, that help and that support to the students. Because not only did I face a lot of interviews, I also was a HR recruiter. So I've seen both sides of the coin. I know as an interviewee, what is it that I need to prepare and how do I need to face in order to win the interview? And as a recruiter, what is that expectation from the candidate that I want? And trust me, guys, very surprisingly, it is not technical skills alone. They are definitely there. It's like, you have your resume, that is your ticket. Now, I'm going to compare and give you a small, simple analogy. Suppose you have a ticket, a lottery ticket, okay? And then you have your resume, which is excellent. You have it in hand. Lottery ticket, resume. The lottery ticket will help you get into the lucky draw. Without the ticket, you are disqualified. You don't even stand a chance to win. Without the resume and your academical proficiency, you will never be able to reach the interview only because they have certain cutoff, and then the excellent, highly proficient students academically are eligible for it. We all know this, right? Now, what makes you win the lottery? It's your luck. If the number strikes, you're a crorepati. And that's what it's all about, right? It's a matter of luck. And here, what makes you get your job is your expertise, your amount of preparation and confidence in order to get through with the interview. So, luck is as similar as your command, control, and practice, and a lot of preparation for getting through with the interview. So, if you have to see it that way, you need to create that luck, that opportunity, which will make you get into your dream job. Okay, it's as simple as that, right? So, having understood that, we felt there is always a gap because I've interviewed and interacted with a lot of colleges, a lot of students, trained them over the years in communication skills and goal setting, etc., etc. So many things. So when it comes to interviewing skills, and we do general group discussion, mock interviews, all these sessions, what we understand is there is a huge gap between the recruiter's expectation and the student's preparation. Now, how do we reduce this gap? How do we remove this gap is our main objective. And it's not a magic or it's not something rocket science that you'll have to worry and wonder. It's after all a skill and not necessary that people are born with those skills. You can always learn and ace those skills, become proficient and excellent at these skills. All it takes is focus, dedication, preparation, and practice. You with me, guys? Yes? Yes? Okay, excellent. Great. So let's get into the topic and understand what is this interviewing skills all about. Okay, so whenever I ask for yes, please respond in the chat box because I know as it is, it's a virtual session. So some amount of response will motivate and boost each one of us. Okay, so I know you're there, you're listening, and that's very important. That's what we want, listeners, so that you learn and benefit from the entire thing. Okay, friends? Great. Okay, so let's move on. Okay. Sure. So tell me one thing. You can put it into the chat box. Why should we have these interview skills? Quick answers. Why should we have interview skills? To ace ourselves. Excellent. Bingo. Knowledge. Amazing. Okay, testing our knowledge. Wonderful. It's like those examinations. Why should we have board exams? Because then only we know how good we are, right? To showcase what we have. Okay, accepted. Swift flow of conversations. Wow, you people are brilliant. Interest to handle such pressure situations, confidence, knowledge, etc., etc. All of you are right and absolutely in the right path. So that's the good news for all of you. But let's kind of funnel it down and be very specific as why you need these skills. Okay, so let me first understand from your perspective. I'm trying to help you understand why you need these interview skills, right? So first of all, as many of you have already said, it is to express your aspirations, the amount of knowledge you have, right? And you articulate your opinions, interests, and all those thoughts in a very confident manner. So how are you going to stand out from the others? It's only when you speak and when you express your thoughts, your experience, your knowledge, etc., isn't it? So in order to do that, you need to interact, and that has to happen one on one. Many people have a resume, everything is there on the resume, but this is like face to face interaction, which is very, very important, right? Understand the company. So it's not like they are understanding you alone, isn't it? You also, on the other hand, need to understand what they are, because it's a mutual thing. You are coming together having this journey of career building. You are giving a lot of value and weightage and a lot of support to the organization by contributing and providing your service, and they in turn are grooming you, helping you grow, develop, paying you for your services, etc. So it's a mutual benefit for all. So please remove this thought, this wrong opinion or wrong notion that it's only for me that I have to attend the interview. That's also for them. And not only for them, it's also for you to know what the interviewer, the company, and the organization is all about. So you do that research, and then you ask a lot of questions and then understand what is their expectation from this job, etc., etc. Now coming to the, here you go. Yeah, for the employer. Now this is really important. You know what you have to say and you know why you're there and you prepared yourself very well. But understanding the other person on the other side is also equally important. So the interviewer looks for these things: what you can offer, your skills and your abilities. What are your major core areas of competence and what is it? The skills and abilities. And who are you as a person? So seeing your resume black and white and then maybe talking to you on the phone or just understanding, viewing your picture, all that looks so beautiful, so rosy and very nice, right? But then unless I speak to you, I cannot analyze, I cannot understand what are you and who are you as a person. So your personality, your confidence, your interest, your ability, all these aspects are very, very important. So that's why an interviewer would look for those areas when they talk with you. Why should he hire you? So there are 100 people attending, then why you? That's a good question, right? If you were in their shoes, if you were the interviewer, why would you choose this particular person and not somebody else? So what is it that stands out in you? And are you that perfect fit into that role, that expectation in that company is what they're trying to understand from the interview. Now, all this and much more is nothing for us to get worried or tensed about. The fact is, we can all prepare and definitely practice to the best of our ability and give them the confidence that yes, I am the one, I am the right person, and I am the one who's going to fit into that role, and you have to consider me. So this is the level of confidence that we build in you by attending these courses. So the next level will talk in depth about how we will go about with this. Okay. So right now I'm just discussing what all is required and how you can go about with it. Okay. Here are some interesting facts now. Many people don't know and probably they overlook this, but I Googled and these are things which I didn't decide, but they're there in stats in the Google. You can just search and find it. 85% of successful interviews are based on the positive attitude, enthusiasm, and the confidence. Isn't that a lot? 85%. So irrespective of what you have done, where you come from, etc., it is all the attitude which really matters. Are you positive? right? Do you have the right mindset? Are you able to answer confidently? Are you excited and passionate about what you're saying? Then 80% of the interviewers decide about the candidate in the first 1 or 2 minutes, which means you need to make first impressions are the best impressions, they say, isn't it? So, in that regard, the minute you step in, you have to make the person feel, yes, this is the person that I was looking for. And the person is amazing, highly professional, carrying themselves, are confident, etc., etc. So 80% is already approved in that 1 or 2 minutes of the interview. And the minute you start talking, they should be like, oh, wow, awesome, so much, so good. Okay, so that's how it is. And 64% are rejected because of their body language and the lack of confidence. So suppose you have everything in you, you practice prepared, but then your body language is not confident enough. You are sitting down, looking down, not making eye contact, looking around, having your hands folded, or fidgeting with your things like this. And then there are so many signs which show that you're lacking confidence and you're not in the right mindset. Right. So all this reflects how do you make the right body contact and make them impressed with you. That's one area we have to really focus on. 62% of the interview success depends on the resume. Now, Sushma has already briefed you how important that resume is. And 62% of your success depends on the way you have structured and organized your resume. We will definitely learn and make sure you're not 62, but 200% they are satisfied and they will consider your resume. 32% do not hire you because you don't seem to have any knowledge. You don't know which company, what product, where they're from, how they're doing, right? You're just there because you were told to be there. You're there because you're trying your luck. But then what happens? Lack of knowledge is lack of opportunity or lack of success. So knowledge is the power, knowledge is the weapon. So you need to do your research and get on with the interview head on, right? Go and face the interview like as if you're going to a battlefield and like a warrior with all your weapons, your shield and everything, and you're just going to ace it. Okay. So these are some of the facts and stats which I wanted to share just to help you understand how important these skills are. And with your proper preparation and practice, you will be at 200% level of confidence. Trust me, friends, on this. Okay, so let's understand the process. I'm going to ask a couple of questions. Please feel free to pop in the answers in the chat box. Okay, let's understand the process. The first and the foremost thing, understand the type of interviews and the process clearly. Now, Sushma earlier mentioned about the ATS and the way the story of the entire journey of the resume goes through, and then you land up into the interview room, right? What are the different types of interviews? What do you think? Now, though very popularly, we have virtual interviews, which is as similar and as important as face to face. The only thing is you have to be neatly dressed, have a good background. There are guidelines as how you need to project yourself on the camera, what is expected. All those things are there. But apart from that, types of interviews are all about panel discussions or what is the process, the system in which the or company is organizing it. So have clarity on this. Talk to your HOD or talk to the interview these recruitment department cell in your colleges, wherever that you are. Talk to friends and interact, but have a clarity on the process before you go for an interview. This is the most important thing. Then the next thing, research about the company and expectations of the role. So what do you think you can research on? Why do you think researching of the company is important here? It's a very simple question, and I'm hoping you will be able to answer. Few answers, please feel free. Why do you think company research is important? And where will you go about doing this research? Yes, any answers popping in? Yes, please feel free to drop in few answers. Why do you think researching about the company is important? Should know what the company is about. Okay, they want to test how much we know about the company, to know about the company growth. Great. Rahman says that to be on the same pace, growth. Excellent, 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 excellent. All of you are perfectly right. And I'm so happy that you have a clarity on this point, because many people miss to do this. They take it for granted that whenever we are in the interview, we'll get to understand and all those things. So whatever they ask, we are prepared with the answer. So that's fine. But researching the company is as important as going for the interview, right? In other words, I would say Interviewing skills are as important as your qualification itself. And if you are going for an interview, do your pre-required research, study, knowledge building, everything perfectly. So research about the company properly and find out the expectation. So they have a job description. What is it that they're expecting from you? Okay, have an understanding on that and then do your research. What is their work culture? What are they product or service company? Do they, what are the number of employees? Where do they stand globally? Right, and then how do they interact? And if you happen to have a known person through your LinkedIn contact, or you have your family members or friends who've been working in that company, then it's even more better. Because imagine you go to a person and you say that I am your brother's best friend, or I came through somebody, or I know somebody who's very close to you. It's the happiness is as good as that. Right. So when you tell the interviewer that I know so and so, Mr. So and so, or Miss so and so from your company, and we have a common connect on LinkedIn, and we've interacted, and I've taken great interest in understanding what the company does. And from my interaction, I've come to know X, Y, Z, 1, 2, 3 points. How impressed they would be. Just think of that. And yes, I know the work culture is amazing. You have a lot of encouragement, and you boost people. You engage them with a lot of activities and sports and cultural programs, events. All that will impress them. They will, you will be totally flattering them as you are speaking about all these aspects. So research, understand, and meet the expectation of the role that they are providing. Okay, sure. Make relevant connections through LinkedIn. We've already spoken on that. I'm not going to repeat it. So if you have the right connects, that's like an icing on the cake. It will help you even better to speak in regards with what the company is and how people are there, etc., etc. So make those connections. The minute you know Accenture is coming, or TCS is coming, or Tech Mahindra is coming, right? The immediate thing that you do is understand and make connections on LinkedIn or any other social media, or try to connect through your friends. And when you have those connections, try to understand how are you feeling, how's the company, what is good. And of course, share all positive things. Huh? Don't go about saying, you know what, my friend had a bad experience, this happened. That is the last thing you want to talk in an interview. Right, guys? I know you're all very smart. Okay, meet the expectation. Right. So prepare a powerful resume. Highlight your strengths and achievements. Now, this is very, very important. Yes or no? And Sushma's already spoken about it, so I'm not going to repeat it. But yes, I will definitely highlight it and consider it to be very, very important, because a resume plays a major role in the way that you present yourself, you showcase yourself. Like I said, it's a gate pass into entering into your that path of getting your dream job. So highlight the strengths, make it very accurate. And the best part of the resume is, if you know Accenture is coming, I'm giving you an example, and these are the expectations, and this is the job description. Try to match with keywords which will fit into their job description. So this is the best way to do it. Even in the ATS, this is what it identifies. If they want a highly competent person with a great team building skills and ability to manage change or work under pressure, etc., etc., whatever may be the requirements, if you're mentioning that and giving examples in your resume, then bang, you are in the right place and highly impressing them for what they are looking for. Okay, so keep that in mind while you're preparing the resume, and prepare a powerful resume. It's not like what you want to tell, what you have to tell what they expect from you. And keep yourself in their shoes and think, if you were the recruiter, how and why you would be considering you for the job, for the role, right? So all these aspects are very important, and that comes with practicing, preparation, and training, right? That's what we are here for. Okay, so next, moving on, dress professionally. The minute you step in, they should get a feeling, yes, he's already the employee of my company. The way he walks, the way she talks, the way she carries herself, the way he expresses his thoughts, the confidence with which they speak, the body language is very important. So I'm sitting in the right posture. I have my head up high. I'm making the right eye contact. I have a pleasant smile on my face. I look very friendly. I'm speaking with passion and interest. There's a lot of enthusiasm and excitement, and I'm super thrilled and excited about joining the company. Right. Don't be overexcited, of course. That's like extremities, but still show that in your body language and look very, very positive about it. And there is a technique we say, it's called the PEAR, PEAR. P stands for, and it's very easy for you. If you just remember the PEAR time and again as you're doing or getting into an interview, then it'll help you calm down and bring back all this positivity and the right way of carrying yourself. P stands for your positive attitude. E, right? E stands for giving them that easy to work with kind of a feeling. Okay, this person is easy to work with because they're very friendly, they're very casual, they're very jovial, and they're very serious and focused at the same time, but they're very positive, right? So positive, easy to work with is E. A is appear as if you're very confident and totally in control, right? So that's what A is for. So your body's language speaks more than your words and your resume. So showcase that, present that. And then you have R, which is very important, and this is reliability. How much can I rely on this person? Is he honest? Is he able to live up to the expectation? Will he be able to, be in that right role, in the correct fit for that particular position? So all this is nothing but the reliability aspect of it. Okay. Then prepare and practice well for commonly asked questions. We have the STAR method, which we will speak in a couple of minutes, right? So you have to prepare and practice. It's not rocket science. There are different types of questions. If you know, go through them. Be given enough amount of experience and practice and practice till you're perfect and confident in saying that, yes, you asked this question at 2 a.m. I should be able to tell you, even in my sleep, with full confidence. That is the level of preparation and perfection that we take you to, because your success is our success, and we're not just building blocks for you but building blocks for both of us together. Okay guys, so moving on, the do's and don'ts of interviews. So we've spoken about so many things, that the interview should be like this, like that, this. Now can some of you just tell me what are the things we shouldn't do at all? Right. This is also very important, right? Because unless you know what not to do, you will end up doing it. And you would never be able to understand why you couldn't get through the interview. I was good. I prepared. I practiced. I did. My resume is excellent. But what happened? Maybe you did something which is not meant to be done. That's a dangerous zone to be in, isn't it? So quickly let me know. What do you think are the don'ts of an interview? What do you think we should avoid when we are doing an interview? Giving attending an interview. Quick answers, few answers popping in, please. Yes. Okay. Okay. Let's see now. Personal talk. Don't be nervous. Excellent. Don't be emotional. Right. Last minute, I didn't answer that question. I'm going to lose it. Oh no, my dream is gone now. Don't get emotional. Okay. It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of your life. Express yourself. Do not over express. Excellent. You all know it. Wonderful. Very proud of you guys. Don't be over talking. Always say the truth. Don't be overconfident. Never fear. Akshay, Saujanya, Harsh, amazing, excellent answers. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts in punctuality. Of course, no mobile, being there on being very punctual, not like you end up 1 hour before, but 15 minutes where you get comfortable with the place. You see the people around, and you know how you get the sense of it. And you settle down properly, right? So that's more than enough. And then once you enter, don't be overexcited. You know what? I'm the best fit and over confident. I can do this. Oh yes, you just give it to me. I will. I'm the perfect. Nothing of that sort. And don't over talk. Like, you be very specific. Listen keenly and talk smartly. Answer the question smartly. Because sometimes in that anxiety and that excitement, what happens is we don't listen to the question and we start telling whatever comes to our mind. Either we misunderstand it or don't understand it at all. We don't listen properly. So keenly listen and then start responding as what is the right answer, what they're expecting, and be very specific to it. In case you don't understand, it's still fine. Say, sir, can you please repeat the question or paraphrase it? If I understood you right, sir, you expect me to talk about certain challenges that I've faced during my college days. Am I right? It's as simple and as very pleasant as that. It's as simple as that. Just ask, paraphrase it, and reassure and confirm that you're asking the right question, you're answering the right question to the person, right? So that's very, very important. Don't be over friendly, don't get personal. I am from the same place, I love this food, I love the clothes. Behave very professionally. That's really, really important. Never make up or fake your answers. In case you don't know, please be honest and say that I'm sorry, I'm not aware of this, but I will go back, check, and definitely learn about it. This reflects your honesty, your integrity, your ability to be very direct in whatever work or task that is given to you. So please keep that always maintained while you are doing this, okay, being in the interview, right? And apart from that, probably your body language, always keep a check on that, how well you're carrying yourself and things like that, okay? And be very patient, don't be in a hurry. And if something goes wrong, don't feel depressed and start expressing or showing it on your face, right? Even when you're leaving, be very thankful. Thank them with gratitude and grace, right? So just say, oh, thank you so much for this opportunity. Always remember, an opportunity of attending an interview is an add-on. It's an add-on to your experience. It's a lot of learning. Whether you get through or not, you have added so much of weightage to yourself with that rich experience that you have. And by considering what all things could have gone better, you can always prepare better for the next interview, right? But the idea here is to give your best in the first go. Okay, so there are so many don'ts that we have to focus on. In addition to what we must do, we should also know what we should not do. Okay, so leave a very positive impression. So when you're leaving, thank them gracefully, give them a nice handshake, leave them with a smile and a full happiness and satisfaction, and show your gratitude for the opportunity that they gave you. It may be to your satisfaction, may not be. You may feel they were not happy with your answers, whatever it is. Just leave them with a positive impression. That is very, very important, because all that you know, you may be that one person. If they had to choose between two, three people, it is the last impression that you created which made them choose you. Because like I said, technical skills can be learned. They will train you, you'll become perfect on it. But what is more important is your attitude, your personality, your approach, your mindset, and all that reflects only the way that you behave. So that behavior has to be really and really good. Okay, guys, great. Smile all the way makes you, yes, absolutely impressive, positive, and memorable candidate. Absolutely, Sushma. Thanks for getting it in. Yes, I'm just getting into Star Varun. Thanks for that question. Okay, so moving on. These are the two types of questions that you can have. Do you have any idea on the types of questions? You know, there are a lot of questions that may come and you keep preparing and preparing, right? What are the different types? Well, you see it on the screen, right? There's strength based and there's competency based. What is the difference between both of them? The first one, which is your strength, is to do with your mindset and attitude. So they test your thought process, your attitude, and your behavior towards a particular situation. How do you handle it in case of emergency, adversity, or if there is something unexpected? How do you deal with the situation? Do you panic and give up, or do you put in your effort and you're very persistent? Do you are you very committed to it? Yes. Yeah, they may ask a hypothetical question. Absolutely. That's a very good input, Harsha. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yes, it could be a situation that is created and they test your mindset and your attitude, your approach towards certain situations. Situations are hypothetical. Yes, taken. So, what is your strength level? And then coming to competency, it's your skill and your ability. So, these are something which you can prepare. Your competency skills in like team building, your change management, your stress management. How do you handle it? Okay, so strength is more of on the spot. How do you deal with a particular situation? Let's take some examples for you to help understand better. Okay, so strength are like, tell me about yourself. So here you don't have to read out your resume, they already have it. They know you are Mr. X from XYZ college, did so and so course, etc., etc. But that's not what they're looking for. They don't want you to repeat the entire content on the resume. All they want now is to understand you as a person. What is your strength, your weakness, and what are you? What are your passions, your interest? Exactly, right. Yes. And then all these things need to be taken into consideration. So prepare and practice a proper script when you're given this question, so that you don't fumble, you don't get stuck, but you say it with confidence and perfectly to what their expectations are. With all our experience and knowledge of what a recruiter expects, we train you, we make you proficient and excellent in order to answer these kind of questions without a flaw. Okay, so that's where you get all the guidance, the support, and the encouragement to clear with these kind of questions. So, what motivates you the most? So, you could be confidence, it could be challenges, it could be etc. etc. So, how do you frame your thoughts properly into that answer so that it is convincing for them? It's very impressive for them. So, these are the type of questions when it comes to strength based. Moving on, competency based questions. Now, what are these? These can be like, when you're given a situation where remember, it's about your skills and your ability. So if you're given an example like where you have to work in a team, what did you do? How did you work through with the team? So you can start explaining your previous experience in college where you had project work, assignment, yeah. So all those kind of things, you can just put in that information, and that really helps them understand how good of a team player they are. Can you describe a challenging project that you've completed successfully? So how do you take challenges? What is your skill level? What is your persistence ability? Do you give up or do you take it up and do you work on it extra? How do you deal with it? So these are the things when it comes to a challenging project. Describe a situation where you have to implement some change. So it was difficult in the middle of a task. You had to change the way you were working. Right? You get an information or an instruction from your manager and your lead, or here your faculty, where they tell you, you know what, Sudha, you have to change their entire project, the way you're working on it, and you just have 2 days time. So I request you to start reworking on it, do your research and get back and submit it within 2 days. Now, this is a difficult position. I can either choose to complain about it and go mad and upset and just give up and say, no, it's not done. I'll only do whatever I can and just give it off. Or I take it as a challenge and work 24/7, do my research, and I say, I am going to do this. I'm going to impress them and give my best. Doesn't matter, 2 hours, 2 days, doesn't matter. I'm just going to do it. So that is the kind of ability, what you have is what they look for. So how do you demonstrate that? Right. So pick a question, pick a situation, an experience from your past, and try to address that very honestly so that they know how genuine you are in what you're sharing and speaking. Okay. Okay, guys. So that's a little idea of, we will do this more and go into the depth of every question, every answer, word to word. We will articulate, structure, and organize it in the best way possible with relevant examples and situations where you can say, you're not only telling them, but you're giving them relevant data and supporting it with your experiences, what you have done. We'll do this at the next level of the training, but yes, this is what you can expect from it. And these are all very, very important. Trust me on that. Okay, so moving on. Someone was asking me, what is the star? Beautiful, twinkle, twinkle, little star, right? So what is the star, right? What is the star? Anybody has any idea? I'll just give you a minute's time. If you can pop it into the chat box, well and good, guys. Otherwise, I'll take over. I will tell you what it is. What do you understand by star? Wow, bingo. Harsh, great. You've already decoded it and you've cracked it. Okay, STAR means action. Absolutely, it is action. It is a methodology, a technique which is used to answer any kind of a question. If you can put your thoughts and your points into this 4 letters or 4 different areas, then you would be able to formulate an excellent answer which gives a holistic opinion about what they expect from you. Okay, let's explore and understand. First one, S stands for the situation. So this is your experience. Let's take that example of one of the questions in the competence where you said, how do you like to work in a team, right? So the situation is, I was given a project in my college final year, and we had to submit this in a week's time. Okay, so this is the experience that you're sharing. You will define the state or explain the project, what it was and what you were expected. So that's the situation that you create. What is the task? What was expected to be done? So out of 5 members in our team, each one was assigned particular work, and I had to take so and so responsibility. That was my part or my task of the entire project that was given to me. Okay. Moving on, what is the action? Now, this is the most important part of your answer, which has about 50 to 70% of weightage. So the way you answer will be decided based on the action that you're going to state. So you're going to say that you have researched, you've gathered information, you've coordinated, interacted, and some of them were not available because of emergency, or they didn't have the information and the knowledge. So you had to take over, you helped them, you guided them, right? And you connected with your seniors in order to get some more inputs. You spoke to some employees from a company to understand how it goes. So everything and anything that you have done in order to support and make that project successful is what you will define here. Now, how beautifully you structure it, how well you cover it and define it is very, very important. But action is the core area where you have to focus on the answer. And next is the result. So, how successful? What was the outcome? What was the result? You were declared as the winners. I mean, there was a little competition and you scored the maximum points because it went really well, excellent well. And you're proud of the amount of effort you put in, the endless hours of research, the amount of commitment, motivation, encouragement, each other, connecting, coordinating, and etc. etc. All those aspects are being reflected in this particular answer that you're giving, and you've used the star. Now, what happens if you don't use the star? Good question, isn't it? Okay, why do you have to use star? I'm just going to go randomly and start explaining like I did this, I did that, I did this. What happens is you may miss out one important aspect of the answer. For example, you may not even give a context to that situation. You may not even define what the situation is, what the detailed project is. It's like, you have 4 buckets now. So you're going to put all the situation information into that one S bucket, and then the task that is given or expected from you into the T bucket, and then the action that you have done and you've worked hard on it into the A bucket, and finally the R bucket, which is the result or the outcome. So there is a pattern and there is a sequence, and every aspect of what you were doing is covered. It is to the best of your experience and satisfaction, and it is best to their expectation as what you have answered to that question. Are you with me, guys? Yes? Yes, I hope that helps. Give me a yes. Right, great. So we will explore every question. How do you approach and how do you apply this technique, which is very simple and yet very powerful. Okay, great. Thank you. Now, okay, so let me just summarize and understand what is acing an interview. Okay, what is this all about? We've spoken for the last 45 minutes in understanding interviewing skills, how you need them, what you need, what is expected, how you go about with them, why do you even need them, right? So let's understand. First of all, these are the 3 powerful R's before you step into an interview. Even before, it's like, before, during, and after the interview. So if you have to take 3 phases of it before, you need to research, right? Review and refine. So research your information properly about a thorough check on what is expected, what is the interview process, how you need to go about, review it, whether you are right or have you missed out on anything with seniors, experts, faculty, friends, whoever you can get hold of. Do it. It's necessary because it's after all your future, your life, your career, your success, and your dream. Right? So there is no excuse or no reason to deny that. Okay. And then you refine. Okay, I know so much, but maybe there are certain things I need to get little better in. And what are those things? Those are the things I'm going to refine. How do you refine? You attend training programs. You go to an expert who has gone through this, who can guide you and give you that expertise. That is what is going to help you refine your skills. And then, of course, once you have the skills in hand, you prepare and practice n number of times so that you are feeling very confident and you can ace the interview perfectly. Okay, moving on. Be honest. Whatever that you don't know, be honest at the interview. Show a lot of passion, interest, excitement, and confidence. The right body language. Remember the peer that we have spoken about, PEAR, positivity, right? And easy to work with kind of an attitude and appear confident. And last but not the least, reliability. So if you can maintain and carry yourself with all these, then excellent. Right. So show that excitement and that interest when you're talking, not like a mechanical thing that you're just saying, yeah, I know this. Okay. Don't let thoughts or doubts slow you down. Okay, so one thing that I would like to share here is during our entire education system, good or bad, but it is a fact. And unfortunately, I feel we were never encouraged to express and ask questions. So I remember in my second class and third class, whenever I would be so curious to know something, I would just ask, ma'am, what is this? What is this? And then ma'am would say, Sudha, you're asking so many questions. Why don't you pay attention? You go and sit next to me and just engage in some work. Don't ask questions. Don't interrupt me. Okay, don't disturb me. So since then, we are trained or tuned, and somewhere at the back of our mind, in our subconscious only, it has been embedded that okay, we shouldn't ask questions, we shouldn't bother, we should automatically understand somehow, or be happy and satisfied with whatever we know. We should not push things any forward, right? So this is what is holding us back. Our creativity, our interest to know more, all these aspects have decreased, right? Only because we have been stopped. We have been told not to do that. But whatever it is, now it's time to change because trust me, guys, my dear friends, it is highly competitive out there. Okay. And you'll have a lot of challenges to take up. And you have to get on to that level of competency in order to win. And you are going into the global level. It's no more your town, your city, your state, your country. You are representing because all the corporate companies, more or less, are globally placed now. You have clients from different countries. The more expressive and confident you are, better is your visibility and your level of success. So break out of your shell and show the world what you are. We not only train you on these skills, but we psychologically motivate you and build that confidence. Because myself and Sushma, we come from a psychotherapist background. So we are certified psychotherapists, which gives us all the reason to dive deep and break those mindsets, mind blocks. Okay, in case you feel hesitant, you don't know how to respond, or there's something which is bothering you, we help you overcome that. And that is a bigger thing more than anything else. Because trust me, all this information you get to know, you'll get understand. But what we're doing here is we are hand holding you, guiding you, and helping you wherever you get stuck. Because any training or any course you go, tell you what to do, but it is very rare that you get to understand when you're stuck what you need to do, right? And how you need to overcome that. That is the main aspect that we want to focus, because only when your questions, your problems are given solution and answers, that is when you become an expert. That is where you're applying your learning. So it's not just learning which is going to help you, but applying your learning in the right way possible. So we will there to coach you, guide you, and tell you, right, you know what, Akshay, you need to do it this way. You could be better that way. And we still feel you can improve more in this area. So that coaching is priceless and it's very, very important and valuable for each one of us. Okay. Right. So powerfully prepare your powerful resume, which we've already gone through, and what we can offer. So match the expectations, go through the job description, and there you have a great resume. Listen keenly, answer smartly, and use the STAR technique in order to get your answers right. Completely answer to what they are expecting from you. Listening is a very important ability, and people think communication is only speaking, but listening is as important as speaking. So when you can understand, be patient, and listen actively, then you will have your success. You can act or speak accordingly. Moving on, practice mock interviews. So we set up n number of interviews. Okay, first time you were not up to the mark. We grade you, we analyze you, we measure the level of skills, and then we assess you, giving you a report that out of 10, you were at 4.5, 4.8. And if you put an effort in X, Y, Z areas, giving you a detailed evaluation or a feedback, if you put effort in X, Y, Z areas, you can get better and reach 8. And from 8, it's not that difficult to reach 10. So we are there, hand holding you and helping you and guiding you to get 10 out of 10. Okay, so those mock interviews really, really are very important and useful. Okay, guys? Okay, so relax. You've done everything, you are confident, you know what's what. What is more important is how cool and relaxed your mind is. If you're going to get very anxious, nervous, tense, fear, unexpected things, then there is a possibility that you cannot make it, because balanced mind or calm emotional state is also very, very important. So we help you relax yourself, overcome that nervousness or anxiety, and then take a feedback. By repeated practice, you will come to a state where you will just walk in. You all know Chaitanya and Narayana, right? They make you write the exams so many times before the boards that you just walk in there and you think it's one of those class tests. In fact, you'll walk out saying that it was very easy. Our class test in the college was more difficult. So that's the level of practice and preparation we get you into, and all for your good and all for your successful career future. Okay, great. So that's how you can get into acing your interview. Are you with me, guys? Yes? Yes? All good so far? Great. Wonderful. Awesome. Love you all. Okay, let's get going. Okay, so let's have a holistic approach to this building blocks of success, right? So, what is it that we're going to give you, offer you as a platter, as a holistic or a complete, source of information and preparation? So, first of all, you have magic created when you start networking and building your profile very strong and powerful on LinkedIn. It's amazing to find a student. The other day, I was attending a LinkedIn meeting. Okay, we have LinkedIn Hyderabad, and I happen to be a member of Toastmasters International, which is an international body, and a member of Professional Speakers of India, PSAI. So there are a lot of sessions, events, conferences, talks, keynote speeches that we do, in addition to motivational counseling and talks that I do. So I met this young boy, and I thought he must be in his 22, 23 years. And then he was talking highly knowledgeable, very commanding and controlling. I mean, like, a lot of confidence. He knew a lot of things. And I was very impressed. I was like, wow, that's great. And then after the meeting was over, I just interacted with him and said, what do you do? He said he's running his entrepreneurship and he interacts with all the major stakeholders in business and guides them and get information. And he's into digital marketing. He's doing a couple of things. Now, in addition to all that, it was very surprising for me and rather a shock for me to know that he is just 18 years, just finished his intermediate. Now that came as a shocker. I said, wow, the generation today, it's unbelievable. I mean, it's all because if he can do, anybody can do, right? Why can't you do? And what is stopping you? It is you. It's you who's stopping you. So, how do you break that? How do you come out of your shell? And how do you make your presence known? So that's what all this networking, building, profiling, everything is all about. And trust me, many of the college students think that why do I need a LinkedIn? Okay, I have an account. Okay, fine. It's like, I've made a resume. It's there somewhere. Big deal. But no, it's not just being on LinkedIn or any of these profile on this social media for them, but building that network, being there visible, contributing, sharing ideas, liking, interacting, all that plays an important role. And what is apt, limited, and appropriate, like what to go about is where we guide you. Right. Okay. The next one is, of course, your powerful resume, which we've already discussed about. What needs to be put? It's your gate ticket pass to getting into that company, getting your dream fulfilled. Right. So that again, we are going to guide you and help you. What is the expectation from the other side, and what are the keywords that you need to put in to highlight and impress the interviewer. Then, last but not the least, the final touch and the main area is how you can ace your interview with the right zeal, the preparation, the amount of confidence, the practice, etc., etc. So all three of them put together as a package is a perfect platter for you where you can build your blocks for a successful career. Okay, so all this and much more. This is just what we have spoken to you from the last few minutes, but there is much more to this, which we promise you will be super excited, and it's all going to be fun, filled with fun, because we understand students, we understand how they like to get excited. So we give you interesting assignments, activities, exercises, a lot of interaction, discussions, debates, etc., etc. So all that is going to be, it's all there in store for you. Now let's understand what we are heading for and what is the next level here. So we have three levels: magic of LinkedIn, then we have fire up your resume, ace your interview. So these are three different topics. Okay, either you can do it together or individually, and each topic we dedicate 8 hours. So 4 hours of live interaction where we coach you, we guide you, we facilitate you, we tell you all the important areas. And the rest of the 4 hours is where we engage you with a lot of activities and exercises. So it gives you an opportunity to apply your learning, right? For example, if you have LinkedIn, we'll help you create your profile. Once you create your profile, what are the posts? How does the algorithm work? How frequently you need to post? How you need? What are the type of posts? The content that you need to put in. All those aspects we will help you and guide you. That's just an example. So, given any course, all these three courses together, we will be learning 24 hours of valuable information which can help you throughout your life, right? So that's our promise to you. Moving on, you get a career kit. Here, you will have all the reading material that you can just download with a click. Okay, all the pointers, the important information. I remember somebody asking me that you have, are we going to get a copy of this, a video of this, or information? You'll get much more than that, my dear. You will get downloaded version of the content, right? So that's going to be given to you. You will have resourceful tools, excellent tools, which will help you prepare more, practice more, give you a lot of information. It's just fill in into the templates, apply those tools, and there you are an expert, right? And then, of course, the sample templates for a resume, for a LinkedIn, etc., where you understand the actual structure of it and then go about with it. Practice exercises, activities, I've already mentioned. Continued support. So it's not like we just do this training and we leave you. No, we're going to come back after 1 month and interact with you where we solve and we answer all your queries. Any question that you have will be resolved. You will get the right information and the proper solution to any doubts that you have. Like, for example, you've created your resume, right? We've guided you, we've told you, we've helped you, everything, all the templates we've given you. But after you've created, you're stuck somewhere, right? And you come up with a doubt. So it's not like you are lost and we leave you. We are still there with you. We come back and we guide you. We help you resolve those and find your answers. Okay. So that's a great support that we offer with all our interest and goodwill and passion for all of you guys. Okay. And of course, the most valuable course completion certificate, which will be awarded to you by smart interns, highly reputed, greatly well known pan India. Everybody who doesn't know them, right? They are the pioneers, or rather, I would say they are the kings when it comes to technical courses and all that. And then of course us, where we have our presence in India as well as abroad, and we cater to a lot of countries, Europe and UK, etc. So that's a very good completion e-certificate that you will be getting rewarded and awarded, and it has a lot of recognition wherever that you go. Okay guys, so that's a lot. It's priceless, trust me on that. Now let's understand what's actually in the course. Okay, so, like I said, these are the courses, and you get a career kit and the continued support. Now, there has to be a price, right? Because we're putting in effort, we're putting in time. But at the rate, right, at the same time, see, anything given free has very little value. We take it for granted. Okay, after all, it's free, so what's the big deal? So we thought, okay, let's add some price tag to it so that you also get serious and you also get value out of it. And we also are happy with the way that you are attending seriously into the sessions, right? So then actually the actual course amount, if we have to check anywhere else, or the value of each course would be 2,500 rupees each, right? Plus you have your career kit of 1,000 rupees. I'm talking about each one of them, right? And then you have the continued support, which is worth 2,000 rupees. So if you add them up for any one topic with career kit and the continued support, it's going to be 5,500. But we are very generous, we are very considerate, and we love students. We've been working with them from so many years that we want to continue our journey and help you maximum, right? So then we have given this special discount where we are going to charge you only $7.99 for each course. Look at that deal. It's a drastic drop from where it was to what it is right now. And trust me, the value that you take from this and the amount of experience you get out of it is priceless. But still we have given some price to it, which is just $7.99. And the best part of it is the career kit, all that support material, etc., and the continued support is absolutely free. We're not charging you a single rupee on that. Okay, so it's you pick a course, you're just going to be charged $7.99. But that's not where it stops, because we love you all, right? So you have something called as an early bird offer. Now, what is this early bird? 24 hours from now, if you sign up for a course, there is a furthermore discount on the price. Can you guess what it could be? Well, okay, I will not wait for guesses, but then I'm just going to disclose it. It's going to be 599. Yeah. Yes, it's just going to be 599 per course, right? 599 with all that information and great support, etc. And of course, all that comes free is just going to be 599. 24 hours from now, guys. Grab it while you can. And all you have to do is register, where we will take you through the registration as how you need to do it. And you need to enter a special promo code, which is early bird, all in caps, early bird. You will be guided for it once you get into the registration screen, but this is what is expected from you. You pay the amount, you get the course, and there you have all the knowledge with you. Okay, so moving on. After 24 hours, okay, say suppose you couldn't do it because of whatever reason, and you still want to join because you feel it is really going to help you build your career and your future. So 799 is what we had stated, and that is what it's going to be. So the early bird will be removed. It's going to cost you still 799. Now, if you take a package, all three of them, LinkedIn, resume, and the interview skills, along with your career kit and the support, you would otherwise be charged around 1788. That is, I'm adding all of them, right? But then it's going to be only and only 1299. So you get all of three of them as a package for 1299. And there again, you enter a promo code, and this is the early bird offer. Okay, guys, I hope that's really exciting, and I hope you're really looking forward to grabbing this opportunity and joining this journey and making it really worthwhile while we're all in this lockdown. Build your skills and develop that competency and the confidence which is much required. Okay, so moving on, these are the dates that we have given for you, and you can decide. It's all there in the registration page. But yes, just for your information, LinkedIn will happen on the 31st of May. You have enough time. Then you have the resume one, which is on the 1st and 2nd, 2 hours per day. That will be evening 6 to 8. And then the interview skills will happen on the 3rd and 4th of June. Again, the same timing, 6 to 8, 2 hours per day. Right. So that's how we have planned it. Lot of sharing, lot of learning, lot of fun. Okay, so right, moving on. What next? So I would like to request my partner here, Sushma, to take you through this part where she will explain what next. You've heard us. Now, what next is in store for you? Over to you, Sushma.
Sure, fantastic. Sudha, thank you so much for all the wonderful information. Every time we go through this course and share it with students, I always feel I wish we had a support like this when we were graduating, so that the path to our career would have been much more easier. And friends, just to add to all the wonderful information that Sudha has shared, I must say, think of it this way: even the best sports people in the world, be it women or men, they do require coaches. They all have coaches, right? Have you ever wondered, when they're on top of the list of being the best in the world, why do they require a coach? Because learning skills is one thing, being able to identify what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, and being able to apply them is the most important aspect. And that is what we like to focus on. And that is why we are here, because you probably will find all of this information online. You can, if you search in the right way, but the support that we provide will make all the difference for you. And this is literally going to be a demonstration based hand holding experience for you. So you definitely want to think about it, and just imagine, in 24 hours of learning, you're all set to take those big steps and achieve anything that you set your mind to in your career. So having said that, I want to take you through the next steps. So after the end of this session, you will receive an email with all of the information from SmartBridge, and which will include a feedback form. It has a link to it. We would definitely like to hear from you. How did you like the session? What else do you expect? We can focus on all of that. And then I will quickly take you through the registration link and how that will happen in the next few minutes. Like Sudha mentioned, the early bird promo code is early bird in all caps. It will also be provided on the landing page, the registration page, which will be shared with you. And you can just use that, put it in as you make the payment. And prior to the start of the program, you will receive the email with the session link and all of the details on how you can start engaging. So you will be engaging through a Smart Interns learning management system. You'll have an entire setup and account of your own. It's going to be a wonderful experience. If you have been with Smart Interns, you already know it. If you haven't, be ready to experience top class service in terms of the training and the coaching that will be provided to you. All right, so I'm going to quickly share my screen. Sudha, you can stop sharing your screen, please, and I will take them through the registration link to quickly show you how it works.
Okay, all yours, Sushma.
Thank you.
This is so exciting, guys. I wish I was a student again going through this. In fact, when
All
we
right.
teach you, we become students. Trust me on this. We feel like we're in the college and we're in this journey together in, making a difference or getting our first job in life. We actually feel that. And it's so exciting. It's so much fun.
Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, Sushma.
All
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So this is the registration link that you will be receiving. Don't worry about it. You don't have to make a note of it. You will receive it in your email.
It's already there in the side, the chat
Chat
box.
box.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
We've
And
already dropped the link in the chat box.
Right, right. So this is your early bird promo code. You can avail it right away. So you'll have a pop-up as an important reminder. So this landing page has all the information that you require about all the three courses. There is an introductory video that you can go through in order to understand what will be covered. There are some information about the duration, the weekday, the schedule that we have planned out, what Sudha has gone through already. We have options of weekdays and weekends, and the mode of training will be live virtual training, which will be sessions led by me and Sudha. Here, there is information about each of the courses, what are your key takeaways, and what is the price. All
Yes.
right, you see it
It
too.
appears to be 7.99, but when you click on the enroll, it will be, apply the code, it will decrease. So don't worry about that now.
Exactly, exactly. So when you enroll, I'm going to take you through that as well. So you have two options here, weekdays and weekends. So like Sudha said, there will be weekday sessions through 5 days that will cover all the three. And then there is a 2 day intensive weekend session where in 6 sessions, we will be completing all the three topics. So it will be around 6 to 8 hours every day for you to be training. But if considering the kind of time restrictions you may have, you can choose one or the other. You can choose to attend the weekday programs every day 2 to 3 hours, and or you can choose the weekend, whatever works best for you. So this has all of the information. You have also information about the combo offer, and even for the combo offer, the $12.99 price is an early bird price. So when you click on enroll now, you will be taken through that process. So I'm going to randomly click on one of the enroll buttons. So it takes you to the Smart Interns portal. If you have already created a login, if you're familiar with Smart Interns, you can log in directly. Otherwise, you have to create a registration. So I'm going to quickly put in my information here and show it to you. All right. So just create a password. All right, all done. You click on registration. An OTP will be sent to your registered email or mobile number. I have my email already open here. So you will get an email with a verification and your code. So 8938. So I just put this in. This is your OTP 8938, and you activate the account. Did I get that right? Perfect. So then I use the same login credentials that I have just used to create my registration. Put in my password. I am not a robot. And then I'm going to click login.
Great. Good to know that, Sushma.
So this is the contact information. You will put in all of your college details and your country, where you're from, add your skills, your areas of interest, and all of this. So I am So this is I'm just going to randomly put some information here in the interest of time. So I was in GNITS, so I'm going to use that. And I have a BTech. So all of this is not necessary information. So I'm going to skip it right now, but you will have to fill in all of this because it will help you not only for this session, but also for future sessions to have the right kind of information. So if I say LinkedIn, so I can say training programs here. Interested technologies. Okay, there is specific technologies in here. So this is general information about you. So Smart Interns, if in case you don't know, it also provides technical and non-technical support. So that's what these are related to. You click submit. Okay, please add at least one skill. You can select the skills. I'm just doing this randomly, guys, okay? Because I don't want to take too much time. All right, you click submit.
I think the fields on the top also they require.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just randomly.
Yeah, I'm just going to randomly select. Okay, I'm from Angola. All right. Okay. Yes. So it has worked. So this will take you to the payment page. And here you have the key takeaways and all of the information. Again, you have a pop-up that reminds you have an early bird for the next 24 hours. And you can do an avail now. Oops. Went to the wrong place. Okay. So you have a coupon code and then you type in early bird and hit submit. So that has reduced the price to $5.99. Now you just go ahead and click on pay now, put in your payment information. Okay. Oops.
Yeah.
Wrong typing. proxel.learning@gmail. Okay, proceed. So that takes you to the Razorpay gateway. Then you put in your card information and then you hit submit and you're all ready to go. All right, so it's an easy registration process. The idea of having you create an account is so we can keep track. As Sudha mentioned, there will be ongoing support. So you will be able to interact with us through the LMS portal. You can submit your queries. We will be giving you feedback. So it's going to be an ongoing process. We will also monitor your progress through the different resources that are available to you. All the downloadable material will be available on the portal, and even your e-certificate will be awarded through the portal. So that is the whole idea of having you create the account before you make the payment. All right, so I hope that's easy and it's clear. Pretty much all the information will be provided in the email. I just wanted to make it a step easier for you by showing it to you. So please go ahead. And I think that's pretty much everything about the registration, right, Sudha? Did we miss anything?
No, I think we're good. We're good to go.
All right.
And we'll open up for question answers. Probably if you have anything else to say, the registration link is in the chat. You'll get email as well as we have walked you through the entire process. So please go ahead and don't wait. Grab that early bird offer. It's really wonderful. And yeah, we're going to share our LinkedIn also in case you want to get connected with us. You can do that. We'll put it in the chat box. But Sushma, if you're all good, then let's open up for the questions. Anybody
right,
have questions?
Yeah, since we've crossed the time, we'll take a couple of questions. Yeah, please go ahead and put your questions in the chat, please. So friends, a lot of the questions that kept coming up during the time that we were speaking, all of those will be addressed in the program, in the Elaborate Next Level program. We will be there to provide you every level of information, and it's almost like you have a personal coach. It will be group sessions, but you will have hand-holding, and it's going to be an amazing experience. We are super excited to help you with this. And like Sudha mentioned, we are trying to provide you the best value at the best cost. And we hope that you make the best out of this opportunity.
Okay, Ashok has a question. I think Sushma, we can just address that.
Yeah.
Can we get the notes and PPT of this session, which you have shared the screen? So this is more like an information provider, Ashok. There is hardly anything that you will have to I mean, the actual crux or the depth of the matter will be during the course. So we've given an overall outline. So it wouldn't really help you much if you had this. It's all about hearing, understanding, and knowing how we will support you and what you will get out of it. So once you're into the course, we'll go deep dive. And like Sushma mentioned, it's one-on-one coaching types where we make sure that you're all very confident and good with those skills. Yes. Any other questions? Yeah. Before we sign off, please feel free to ask a couple of questions. Maybe another 2-3 minutes is what we can stay. Yes, I believe there are different options, Varsha. You can check it out. And I will ask, SmartBridge to come back to you. And probably SmartBridge, feel free to answer that question. She's asked whether the payment can be done through Google Pay. Yes. I hope you all like the session, guys. Where's the excitement? I hope you're not tired and exhausted hearing so much of it. Come on. This is just like, everything in a nutshell. Great, great. Good to see those yeses coming up. Wonderful.
Right. So do leave your feedback, guys and girls. Please make sure that you let us know how you like it. And we really look forward to seeing you in the sessions and being able to help you further. When you receive the email from SmartBridge, make sure that if you have any questions about the process of registration or anything else, please reply back to that and reach out. We have an excellent team at Smart Interns that's always very responsive and can help you through any step when you're stuck. All right. And we have
they've already responded to Varsha's question and they said, yes, absolutely, you can make payment with Google Pay. So that's how prompt and amazing they are. Okay. The team with Smart Interns. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have also shared our LinkedIn profiles in the chat of Sudha and myself. So we would love to connect with you on LinkedIn and stay in touch, engage further.
Sure.
So if we don't have, can we get a certificate?
Question here by Kartikeya. He says his department is not mentioned in the feedback link. So, okay.
I mean, we always have an option called others. You can click on the others and you can go further.
Excellent.
Okay.
It's Kartikeya, you've got your answer. Right.
Sure.
Do that, please. Okay, so the certification will be awarded once you complete any one of the courses or all of them together as a package, because then it's worth and you deserve, you've like earned the certificate in the true sense, because you've been that and you've learned those skills. So we would like to honor you with full happiness and pride that yes, you've deserved it and now you're all good to go and build your blocks for your successful career. Okay, guys?
Right. And as we mentioned in the beginning, this is a progressive learning journey. What we talked about today is just the what and the why it is important. So the journey is not complete. So we are not yet at a point where we can talk about certificates because we still have another step to go and deep dive into the understanding and start applying what we learn. So it's then when we will share it with you with pride and happiness, and you can receive it with full satisfaction.
Absolutely. Okay, guys, anything else or let's sign off and
yes,
wish everybody a very safe and a happy, positive weekend.
Right.
Wish and pray for everybody's well-being. Yeah.
Yeah. So wish you all a very happy evening, good night, and a great weekend. Take care, stay safe, and we hope to see you in the next sessions and we'll keep in touch. Over to you, Meghna. If you're done, Sudha, I think we can wrap up, right?
Meghna takes over. I would like to thank SmartBridge wholeheartedly for organizing this session. The amount of effort, time, and the dedication that they've put in coordinating and sending out the posters and all that information has been brilliant. They are quite very efficient team for sure. So of course, you know already about their great levels of performance and the way that they go about. But the fact is, yes, thank you so much, Smart Bridge, for making this offer, reaching out to the students and giving this as an add-on value for their career. Like we all know, technical skills are one part of it, but equally important is your interviewing skills or your soft skills. So please work on both aspects and don't leave any scope where you will be not being able to ace it. So just be focused and go for it, guys. Thank you so much to everyone for your time, and great. We thoroughly enjoyed it, Sushma, being here and
Yes,
speaking to you, all of you. Sure.
definitely, Sudha. Great experience every time we do this.
Yes.
Take care, everyone.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Meghna.
Meghna. Over to you before we
Yeah,
close.
thank
Yeah.
you so much, Sushma and Sudha, especially Sudha. Thank you so much for your kind words. Like, it's our pleasure to associate with you, to be frank. And sometimes we tend to ignore the basic elements in building a career path, such as creating a LinkedIn account and creating a impressive resume. But we always should remember that these basic elements are the building blocks of the career success. And I have to tell you this for sure. Like, Proxil is a great initiative by you people, and the services that you are providing are immensely helpful to build a successful career to students. So a huge round of applause. I can maybe I can just maybe everyone can just drop a appreciation in the chat box, because the services that you're providing are like they are like the basic things that a student should know, and they should understand how to create an impressive resume. So you are doing a great job. And thank you so much
Thank
once
you so
again for
much.
equipping students with all the knowledge that have been needed. Thank you
Absolutely.
so much.
Well spoken, Meghna. Thank you so much for all your introduction and being here. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah, it's our pleasure. It's our pleasure, Meghna. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Take care. Bye bye, guys. See you soon. 31st May.
Oh, all right. Signing off. See you. Thanks. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye, Sudha. Bye, Meghna. Bye,
Bye
Vinay
bye.
from the Smart Bridge team.
Take care. Enjoy.
Take care and good night.
Good night.
Bye bye.